Greetings everyone, welcome to Just Advance. This game was played in Sharjah Challenges 2024 as we are covering the series of it, and now we have already covered Tata Steel that happened in 2023 where Divya was able to win the entire event ahead of the World Chess Champion, so that too might I add. And then she had a spectacular year 2023. I mean, she was able to win Tata Steels, and also she was able to get her IM title in Baku Open, and then she played Polish League, and she was able to get a spectacular score there as well. Now this 17-year-old genius prodigy is playing here. Let's see what she does. Without further ado, let's start with this game. Here, knight to f3 was played by Divya. This is the ready opening. We have d5, and her opponent is Vedant Nagarkatte, so we're going to have to see what he brings it up, because there's not much of a rating gap if you think about it. I mean, there is one, because here Divya is actually 2440 and Vedant is 2300, so a lot of rating up, but still not that much. Here just d4 comes. We have knight to f6, c4, e6, and here just g3, and now just bishop to b4 check. This is the queen's checkmate decline. This is the Catalan opening. Here just bishop to d2, and normally you would see trades here, or normally you would just bring the bishop back, and Vedant here chooses to bring the bishop back. Bishop to e7 was played, and now just comes bishop to g2 and c6 in this position. Queen to c2 now, and castles. Also you could go for this very nice line with c captures here, and after c captures you play knight to c3, and after knight to c6 now just castles, b6, rook a to d1, and bishop to a6. Now just develop the bishop that way. Maybe rook f to e1 also makes sense. Then you're going to have to develop, so rook to c8 in this position, bishop to g5, and after b5 most likely you play a3, not allowing b4, and we reach into a position which is standard, or mostly you'll see this variation a lot of times, which is this position in Catalan. Could be anyone's game, too early to say, but so that's why not going for anything crazy. Just castles was played. Now comes b6, and here just bishop to f4, bishop to a6. Now again just developing that way, and here again c caps or d5 always an option in this position. You could have gone for this, and after c captures you play rook to c1 and just take entire control over the c file, and then you're carry on all the things that you want to from here. But after bishop to a6, just knight b2, just casual developing, and also not allowing the bishop to just capture the pawn. And here we have knight bd7, and here rook f to d1, bishop to b7 was played. e4, now we have d captures, knight captures, so we're going for trades early on, and here just knight captures, queen captures, knight to f6 attacking the queen, queen to c2, and just queen to c8 was played. And here knight to e5, just developing the knight and putting it on the center of the board where it's going to be a very, very annoying piece. And the thing is that this knight is going to serve very, very well to Divya, because the thing is that now she's going to push towards the queen side, and this bishop is not decently placed. Once you bring it to a6, now you bring it back, and it needs to have a specific target, otherwise there is no point. So a move like c5 just makes sense, but not right away, because here rook to d8 was played, and after rook to d3, if you try to double up, c5 makes sense. Here rook a to d1, bishop captures, king captures, queen to b7 check, king to g1, and after c captures, the thing is that rook captures, and you can trade everything and go into an endgame most likely where the position would reach a draw. But here after rook to d8, queen to a4 was played, and now just comes to rook to d6, and move by move you can see that the queen doesn't have that many square. You're putting the rook under the shadow of the bishop. Also you have to just double up. Maybe that was the idea, but I don't think there are that many moves for black as it was supposed to, and white is slowly just mounting the pressure. And if Divya manages to get a decent position, some tactics exist on the board, then you know what's going to happen. I mean, she always finds these tactics like an absolute hawk, and if she gets like a little bit of a tactical idea, she will just completely annihilate you. So here just b4, just pushing all those pawns towards the queen side, and here we have b5 trying to stop it, but just comes queen to b3, b caps on c4, and here just knight caps on c4. That comes with attack towards the rook. Rook to d8 was played, and now just comes rook a to c1, and you can see the past few moves for black hasn't been the decent ones, because you can see that the bishop is already eyeing this, knight is controlling so many squares, and this is what happens when you play with the experienced players, because the thing is that one or two tempos you miss here and there where you were supposed to play a decent move which you didn't, and now you can see that the engine variation is already giving 1.3, but the positionally if you look at this position, I mean, white is on the charge, and unless you're able to come up with such an idea where your pieces have some movements, you're going to make a blunder very soon, and when that blunder comes, your position would completely crumble apart. That's the point here. And once you have these kinds of positions, I mean, the blunder is definitely right on the horizon. And here you could go for this knight to d5, which was played in the game, and here knight to a5, a6, and now you can see that this bishop is not a bishop anymore, it's a pawn basically, and this is what you don't want in the possession. And if you look just few moves back and you got this position, and from that now you're getting this position, and you have to understand this is not a good position to have. So here just a6 was played, and after rook to c4 we have queen to d7 trying to get the pieces active, and here just bishop caps on d5, just finally sacrificing that bishop pair early on and saying that you don't have anything here. E caps on d5 was played, but again this is a pawn chain. Basically there is no bishop there. Forget about the bishop. That bishop is basically a pawn, and your position is not at all good. If you go for rook to c3 in this position, maybe rook to e8 comes, queen to a4, you play bishop to c8, and maybe you try to get out of this, but you're going to have to sack a pawn in this position, and that is something that maybe black would not want to do, because you've already bad on development. Normally when you are bad on development, you try to actually sack a pawn to be able to try to sacrifice some material to be able to get some counterplay, because you have none, and that's the problem. And in this position you're going to have to move the queen somewhere and then move the bishop, maybe connect the rooks. You're passive. Accepting is the first way to go about this. But hey, bishop to f6, maybe queen to c2, you play h5, h4, and yeah, you're gonna have to suffer for the rest of the games, but this is something that you brought on yourself. But after e caps on d5, here rook to c2 was played, and now what do you do here? Rook to c8, but playing towards the queen side is not going to help you. You need those pieces active. Here rook to e2 was played, and now just comes bishop to d8. Bishop to d8 is a complete blunder in this position. The move that you want to play is rook to e8 again. So moving back and forth was maybe the idea in this position, but still, I mean, this is one of those situations. I told you that once you get a position where your pieces are basically numb and you don't have any moves to make, somewhere along the line you're not going to find the right idea which the engine loves, and your evaluation is just going to blast right out of the gate. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, you in a constructed position where you cannot see natural moves as the best moves, you're most likely to make a mistake. Here rook d to e1 was maybe rook d to e1, rook a to d8, queen to e3, bishop to 8, and h4, and you can see how passive of a position that you have to play. And it's just not not anyone's cup of tea. That's the problem. Defending a passive position, you have to be like Paul Keres. I mean, that guy was, give him any position from anyone, he would hold even Tal's attack to be able to calculate everything and still hold him to a draw or still win against him. That's how good that guy was. But still, I mean, it's not everyone's cup of tea. But here just rook to e2 was played, bishop to d8 comes, and just knight caps on b7. She finds the tactic in an instant, because the thing is that what do you even do? It seems like everything is fine here. I mean, my pieces are a little bit constricted, but why is the engine evaluation giving it such a huge score? Well, the thing is that you're missing a crucial idea in this position, because your king doesn't have space to breathe. And now you did not play h6, you did not play h5 in this position, and the trouble is now with the bishop gone back, you have to understand it's not just your pieces being constricted. My rook is targeting this, and you are about to get checkmated. So here knight captures on b7 was played, and it was on this move, on just move 27. Yes, you heard that right, on just move 27. 2300 rated opponent Vedant Nagarkatte resigned the game, and the magician Divya Deshmukh got the spectacular win in just 27 moves. She won the first round, she won the second round of the Sharjah Challengers, and she has been going amazingly well. Her momentum is right on the charge, and she is like really getting up her ratings as well. She's 2440 now. Before this tournament began, and now she's really rising. Definitely 2023 and 2024 were great years for her. I mean, 2025, where she won the World Cup, was not something that happened right away. She was playing consistently, just that the world didn't know her yet, and that's why, I mean, recognition and getting in the media and getting all of just some recognition towards the investors and all of those things are important for chess players as well. If you want to perform, and she has been doing that consistently. 2025 was the year that marked her, I mean, greatness, where everyone got to know that she was a force to be reckoned with, where she played spectacular chess in the World Cup, then played just Grand Swiss, was able to hold world champion to a draw, and now she's going to be facing the facing a lot of tough opponents in the World Cup as well. So she's playing spectacular chess. Hopefully she continues the way she is. She has been consistently performing. In 2023 she won Tata Steels, and 2024 she played spectacular chess in the Olympia. 2025 World Cup, Grand Swiss, everything was really perfect. And now, I mean, all of this shows a remarkable rise of a true legend. Hopefully she becomes that, and hopefully she becomes the world champion. This is definitely a world chess champion in the making. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll be coming back with such amazing games, so stay tuned to the channel, stay updated, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you very much for watching.